your forecast first. Sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Sunshine mixed with some clouds on this Friday. A little warmer out there. Fair weather cumulus clouds on a Roofing Dog INET Flooring America camera in Danville. They sit at 89 degrees right now. Same in Effingham. 87 in Springfield. A little cooler out to the west. The reason for that? Rain, thunderstorms out there. Those are trying to work their way to the east, but should stay just outside of our area for tonight. But that will not be the case as we step further into the weekend as thunderstorms return across the area. Tonight, though, I think we're good, just warm. The temperature still in the upper 70s at 9 o'clock tonight. More about our storm chances for the upcoming weekend, which includes the first day of summer and Father's Day, coming up. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now on WCIA 3 News.
This day marks the official end of slavery in the United States. How some are celebrating Juneteenth.
There's absolutely no reason to take his job.
He's a coach under fire, accused of some players of racism and abuse, while others say they're all wrong.
I think the only concern I would have would be really people squeezed in there.
And many wonder if there will be football at Memorial Stadium in the fall. Will fans feel comfortable going back?
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 6.
Chants could be heard through the streets of Champaign today. They marched to celebrate Juneteenth, the day recognizing the official end of slavery in the United States. Hundreds of people gathered, walking miles from Garden Hills to Beardsley Park. They united today to honor the historic moment in history. WCIA 3's Jennifer Jensen's live in Champaign. So, Jennifer, what else happened today?
Paul, they started with that peaceful march, walked for miles, and ended here at Beardsley Park. And during that walk, they stopped for 8 minutes and 46 seconds to pay homage to George Floyd. After that, the celebration of Juneteenth started here at the park, and there are several Black-owned vendors, performances, and activities for families where all people are welcomed. And this was all done to recognize the cultural and historical importance of this day.
If we are one people, if we are the same and we are Americans, then what works for you should work for me and my kids as well. We shouldn't be those people that fall victim to systematic racism and prejudices that we didn't ask for, that we was brought here, right? And then for my community, I say it's time for us to stand up.
Organizers of today's event say the hope for this celebration was that all people would join in and become allies for the common purpose of justice and equality. Coming up tonight at 10 on WCIA, we'll share more about a new initiative starting in Champaign that promotes both equity and education in the community. Live in Champaign, I'm Jennifer Jensen, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
We'll look forward to that report at 10 o'clock. Jennifer, thanks. The African American Museum in Decatur says it's never seen so many people of all races invested in this holiday. It's found many are trying to learn more about Juneteenth. WCIA 3's Andy Olson has more on the history of this day, June 19th.
The beginnings of Juneteenth go back all the way to 1865. That's when, on June 19th, a Union general announced the Emancipation Proclamation to slaves in Texas, 2.5 years after it was signed. But it didn't end slavery completely.
And that's a misconception. The idea that Juneteenth is, in fact, the anniversary of the end of slavery in the United States is an error.
Historians say the 13th Amendment had loopholes that allowed some slavery to continue for years. But the anniversary of the announcement continues to be a reason to celebrate.
It was originally called, in many places, the Day of Jubilee, and eventually became known as Juneteenth. And as you say, it became a day of celebration of improvement.
One of the places that has been celebrating for a quarter of a century is the African American History Museum in Decatur. Their holidays usually consist of parades and parties, but this year takes things to a new level.
I have been here 26 years and I never seen the excitement. I never seen banks close. I never seen the flag have staff. I just never seen. So this is an exciting moment for me as well as other African Americans.
Museum Director Evelyn Hood says she hopes more people will continue to learn about the holiday. She knows current events like the death of George Floyd has fueled interest this year. Now it's time to make change.
We are getting better, but we have a very long ways to go.
In Decatur, Andy Olson, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Governor Pritzker said today he plans to make Juneteenth a state holiday going forward. The Altgeld chimes at the U of I will ring for the first time since the start of the pandemic. It's to celebrate Juneteenth. The concert is the first in the summer series. It's called Amplify Their Voices, a celebration of Black, Indigenous, and people of color musics. The performance will take place at 7:30 tonight. Here's a follow-up now. We told you yesterday about a coach and assistant principal who's accused of racism and abusing students. Now we're hearing from a student he used to coach, as well as someone who says those accusations are false. WCIA 3's Courtney Bunting joins us live from our newsroom tonight. So, Courtney, first, what is this former student saying?
Well, Paul, she told me she isn't surprised to hear about these accusations, and she eventually quit years ago from the football team because of Kavanaugh. But I also talked to a parent who says her daughter only has positive things to say about him.
He's belittled the Black kids of the community, and no one's done anything about it. And it's not even just the kids. He's made comments about some of the parents.
Former students and players who worked with Josh Kavanaugh are saying enough is enough. Kavanaugh is the head coach of Georgetown Ridge Farms football team. He's also the assistant principal of Mary Miller Junior High School. People are now coming forward, accusing him of racism and abusing students. Kavanaugh was Marissa Goodwin's football coach back in 2011. She says the way he treated her eventually caused her to quit.
He did not quite appreciate that I was on the team. On more than one occasion, he told me that I should go try out for the cheerleading team because that's where girls belong. But I do know he did call one of the students. He nicknamed him either Oil Spill or Oil Slick. He did have a problem of putting our Black teammates in the backfield, and that's pretty much the only place they were, either that or a receiver or guarding the receivers on the defense. They pretty much had their set locations.
But some are painting a much different picture. One parent tells me she feels these accusations are totally false.
Because there's absolutely no reason to take his job, his livelihood, for somebody that we don't know the 100%.
She also says her daughter only had good things to say about Kavanaugh.
He is a positive person for my child and helps her. This man has been in the community for how many years? How many kids has he helped? We don't know what happened. Don't go off hearsay.
Kavanaugh was suspended back in 2013 for 2 games. School leaders never shared the reason behind that suspension. He later resigned, but then came back several years ago. Live in the newsroom, Courtney Bunting, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
All right, Courtney, thanks. Now, the Georgetown Ridge Farm School Board is expected to meet tomorrow night to discuss Kavanaugh's resignation from coaching. It's the only item on the agenda. We reached out to Superintendent Gene Neal about what that resignation will mean for his other role as assistant principal at the junior high. We have not heard back. The former executive director of a nursing home in Rantoul is facing 5 felony charges. Police say she stole more than $20,000 from the facility. Happened at the Villas of Hollybrook. Kimberly Cross made her first court appearance today. She's charged with participating in a continuing financial crime enterprise and forgery. Officers found checks written to the villas had been either altered, cashed, or deposited into an other account than the business account. She could face up to 30 years in prison. A man from Charleston is behind bars accused of sexually assaulting a teenager. Michael Howlett Jr. is accused of assaulting a 16-year-old. He was arrested at a hotel in Charleston after a 2-month-long investigation. While he was at the jail being booked, officers also found meth. Howlett is also accused of threatening the life of a Charleston police officer. Decatur Park Police are investigating after a bench around a 9/11 memorial was vandalized. The memorial is in Nelson Park along Lake Decatur. They said the bench was found in the lake on Thursday by the memorial's caretaker. Officers were able to get the bench out of the water and reinstall it. All of the benches were reinforced to make sure they are secure. They are still searching through security footage to see who's responsible. The memorial itself was not damaged. One person was sent to the hospital after an accident in southeast Champaign County. Happened on County Road 2125 East, which is just north of Sidney. The car and truck were going in the same direction. The truck tried to pass the car but ended up sideswiping it and rolled off the road. The driver of the truck was taken to the hospital and is being treated for serious injuries. Garth Brooks will be on the big screen in Gibson City. Latest on ticket sales for the drive-in concert. Also tonight.
I'm the first one that would not go to an event if I felt I wasn't safe.
The Illini are preparing for a football season. How about the fans?
And outside tonight, a little warm. As we recap today, that high temperature finally did make it back up into the 90s. 91 officially the high, well above the normal. When we come back, we're talking about the heat for the weekend, storms, and when things will finally turn cooler coming up.